Hi, today I wanted to do a short video talking about the benefits of practices such as mindfulness and meditation and where it can really take us if we get into these practices in a meaningful way. I think there has been a lot of hype around, meditation, mindfulness. There's many apps you can download. There's a lot of attention on it, and very often we lose sight of why are we actually doing these practices? What are the benefits they can truly bring to you? Now, I'm not going to talk about the kind of medical or scientific benefits of these things. There are multiple studies online referencing things such as, lower blood pressure, increased immunity, better sleep, less anxiety, less depression, less stress. And of course, those are all wonderful, essentially benefits and really side effects from the practice. But at its core, these practices of meditation and mindfulness come from ancient traditions and are really there to teach us and guide us in our personal journeys. So, although we've made them into sort of modern techniques for health and stress relief, there really is a lot deeper benefit and reason for these practices existing in the first place. Now, as so many of us are, we are looking for more fulfillment in our life. We are looking for kind of, I suppose, answers to life's questions and trying to understand really what our role is in this world and our place in this society that we live in and the cultures that we find ourselves in. And as part of that, many of us go on a journey of self-discovery. And we want to get to know ourselves better. We want to understand, what is my purpose? These big questions. What is my purpose? What is my meaning? So many of us are asking questions like, what is my contribution? What is my gift? I see other people around me with these remarkable gifts and clear talents and passions, but I'm not really sure about my own. And so in order to find those answers, sometimes we look externally and we go to other people and groups and in the hope that we'll find our answers out there, but really all the answers that you need are truly within yourself. And this is where these tools of mindfulness and meditation come in handy, because they essentially are just tools for you to really get to know yourself better. So just as something such as journaling is another tool of self-awareness, which is really wonderful and something I've practiced probably since a child, mindfulness and meditations are also tools to really take you out of that voice in your head that's constantly chattering and to really listen to your kind of unique spirit voice or soul voice. It's that part of you that's timeless and is very wise and has all those answers that you're seeking. So by using these tools, it's a way for us to really self-connect and to get to know ourselves a lot better. So the differences between mindfulness and meditation, because there is often confusion between that. Now, there are both forms of meditation, because meditation, for me anyway, is really just about coming to that still place in order to really feel my connection with myself and connection with life around me in a very still and focused manner. Now, mindfulness is a form of that, but it's a much more active form of meditation. So like we've all heard of things like walking meditation, that you go for a beautiful walk along the beach or through a forest and really paying attention to everything that you do, and you walk very slowly. Mindfulness is like that, but we can really incorporate mindfulness into every single part of our day and into our life. You can be doing mindfulness right now, watching this video. You can be practicing it sitting in a boardroom around at a meeting. You can be doing it driving in your car while you're exercising. Pretty much while you're doing anything, you can be mindful. And the thing is with mindfulness is that this is not a special skill which we have to attain. Mindfulness, it's not like learning to play the piano if you've never played the piano before and you have to go for lessons and you have to learn a skill that might not be natural to you or familiar to you. Mindfulness actually is taking us back to our natural state of self-awareness. It's taking us back to connecting with ourselves, which is the most natural and easy thing we can do in the whole world. So although we call mindfulness and meditation practices, like practicing the piano, you have to really get familiar with it and get that muscle memory in place. The difference is you're not learning something that you don't already know how to do. Actually, trust yourself. We all have this innate ability within us to self-connect and self-reflect and really get to know ourselves better. So it's a very exciting practice because as you do it more and more and it becomes more easy, it just opens up so much more of your awareness. And so to give example, in my own life, I had already started practicing more seated formal meditation, if you want to call it that, much earlier on in my life. And then I went through a very, very stressful phase in my life, very busy phase with work and so on. And I was feeling exceptionally stressed and burnt out, and just really, if somebody had said to me at that point, spend 20 minutes a day meditating, sitting on a meditation cushion, or even doing something relaxing for an hour, I resisted it because I was so exhausted that even that really represented a huge effort for me. So what I started to do was every single morning when I'd get in my car and drive to work, and I didn't have a particularly long drive, but I would sit in traffic for some time. I was living in Johannesburg at the time, which has got, Joburg's really known for its beautiful trees, and everything is so green and the skies are always so blue. It's really gorgeous. And what I would do is every morning driving to work, I would just simply notice the trees, and I would notice the shape of all the different trees. I'd notice the silhouettes that they'd make. And then I started to notice really interesting things. I'd noticed that some trees' leaves were more silvery and shone in the light. Some trees had, sort of like bigger leaves that would turn different shades. Some trees lost their leaves, some trees didn't. I mean, we all know these things, but how often do you really experience it? How often do you look at a tree and we immediately label it, oh, that's just a tree? But to really start to be able to identify different aspects about that tree, you notice when the tree, for instance, goes into its seed or fruit, and perhaps it bears berries, and what color are those berries? And this is just one small example. It's just how we are so conditioned to labeling everything that we see, we actually cut out and limit our experience of life. So going through my morning drive and really looking at the trees started to really force me to become so much more aware of all the beauty that was really around me. And I would see amazing birds, driving down the road in the middle of a busy city, and in a tree there would be perhaps a raptor, and it had food in its feet, and it was eating. And little experiences that would have ordinarily passed by me and passed by so many other people really started to enrich my day. And that's just how it started. And from there, I built onto it. And I've been doing mindfulness now for pretty much every day for about 10 years. It's been a really long practice for me and just so rewarding because it constantly surprises me and constantly takes me into a deeper level. So I will do a follow-up video to this where I describe how to do mindfulness, and I have my own kind of take on the technique, something that's worked for me, and especially being somebody who was stressed out and busy, something that I feel is quite easy for people who are busy and feeling stressed out to start incorporating. It's not heavy on theory or any of that. I just wanted to give you this context in this first video, just really around how mindfulness fits into our broader journey and perhaps why you should consider practicing it, even if, not just for the sort of scientific or medical benefits. So sending you lots of joy in your journey, and I'd love to hear from you if you're interested in learning more about mindfulness or have any specific questions. Just put them in the comments and I'll answer them for you. And also let me know if there's anything in particular you'd like me to address, and I can make follow-up videos that speak to that. Okay, cheers for now. Bye.